Australians are preparing to make their choice as the nation heads towards a federal election this Saturday. On city streets, the visual evidence of the campaign is prominent, with posters featuring candidates vying for votes. Posters for incumbent Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, leader of the centre-left Labour Party, are visible along roadsides, reminding voters of the current government seeking re-election. Party volunteers are actively distributing campaign materials, engaging with the public in the final days leading up to the vote. This ground-level activity is a hallmark of Australian election campaigns. Competing for leadership are candidates like Peter Dutton, representing the Liberal National Coalition. His campaign posters are also strategically placed, presenting voters with the main alternative for government. Volunteers supporting various parties position themselves in public spaces, holding signs and demonstrating visible support for their respective candidates and platforms. The mood among the electorate appears mixed as they approach polling day. While the campaign is visible, individuals continue with their routines against the backdrop of the upcoming national vote.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit stressed at first considering the political climate of other countries, but as I'm seeing the polling progress and I'm seeing that Labor's more in the lead and more of the left-leaning and independent parties, because there's the politics that I personally subscribe to, are getting more seats at the table, I think that'll be good, and I think that it'll help the average Australian.
I think Dutton is a little bit his own worst enemy, and Alba, well, he just hasn't got any guts, basically. So I don't think there's a great choice there. But apart from that, it's federal election. What else do you expect?
Some residents express a sense of cautious optimism. Views articulated in this public space suggest initial concern about the political climate.
I think elections are usually exciting. I don't think I'm particularly excited about what this could mean for the country, because I don't think it's going to... I think there's a very obvious better candidate, but I don't think in terms of outcomes things are going to change dramatically or in a way that I would like to see.
The election takes place against the backdrop of iconic Australian scenery, like Sydney Harbour. The key issues driving voter decisions include persistent concerns over the rising cost of living, which affects households across the nation. Housing affordability also remains a critical issue debated throughout the campaign. Additionally, the complexities of international trade relationships and recent tariff impacts factor into the economic considerations for voters. Australia utilizes a mandatory voting system, ensuring high levels of participation. Even before Saturday, the Australian Electoral Commission reports that close to 7 million out of approximately 18 million eligible voters have already cast their ballots through early voting centres or postal votes. This significant pre-poll turnout highlights changing voting patterns and the logistical scale of the election. As the final hours count down, the nation prepares for what reports suggest could be a tightly contested result, determining the country's leadership for the next parliamentary term.